Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. If I could ask you to take your seats quickly, we're going to get on with this afternoon's presentations. The first of which is going to come from a Japanese agency, Hakuhodo Kettle, making their first presentation at the Cannes Lions. And I've seen them present at the Spikes Asia conference last September, and it was a truly inspiring presentation. I think you've got a lot to look forward to in the next 45 minutes. How then are truly innovative campaigns created? The ones that are unlike any that have come before? Does it take pioneering a totally new field of advertising or inventing a totally new method? No, it doesn't. To tell us why, please welcome to the stage now Kentaro Kimura, the co-CEO and Executive Creative Director from Hakuhodo Kettle. Round of applause, please.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our session. Thank you for coming. And my name is Kentaro Kimura, co-CEO and Executive Creative Director of Hakuhodo Kettle Tokyo. The problem or the task we face today is much more difficult than before. For instance, I was asked from my clients to create a new communication platform to increase both the profit and product sales dramatically and then the number of the fans continuously at the same time without much mass media budget. This is impossible to accomplish with ordinary advertising method. But these difficult problems can be solved only by truly innovative ideas. So now, where these truly innovative ideas come from? The answer, creative alchemy. But before I talk about creative alchemy, let me introduce my favorite story. That is the kingdom without sun. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom without any sunlight. One day, the king called in to his trusted people. It's dark in the castle. It's dark in the city. People are feeling gloomy too. How can we brighten up things? And two subjects answered, Yes, Your Majesty. We'll find the light. The king, in turn, gave them all the money they needed. The first one walked all around the city and looked for something to make things brighter. And he found and came back to the castle. Your Highness, I found the brightest lantern in the country with the newest technology. Wow, it's so bright. What is the name of this lantern? This lantern is called logic. But it's not enough to power the city. It's still too dark. So the second man thought there is no solution in the city, so he went deep into the forest. The night came, and he lost his way, and suddenly, he fell down a cliff. Luckily, he was not injured, but the king's money was scattered all over the ground. Money is useless here in the forest. But at that time, he found that the coins were shining brightly in the moonlight. He instinctively started hitting the coins, and with each stroke, they became even shinier. He hit the metal for days on end, adding crystals, moon dust to the feathers of a phoenix. And finally, when he scooped up a palm of water and poured it onto the metal, it shone even more brightly in the reflecting moonlight. The material started gleaming and created a dazzling bright light. Returning to the castle, he offered the shining ore to the king. Open the box, the king said. It cast an amazing, brilliant light which lit up the whole castle. I have never seen such brilliant jewelry. What is it called? This is called idea. Oh, an idea is so brilliant. Where did you get it? Your Majesty, an idea is what money can't buy. I melted your money and struggled to create the idea through a process of trial and error deep in the forest. Sometimes the brightest light comes from darkest place. But why is your body covered in so many cuts and bruises? The forest is full of danger, the unknown and the unexpected. But without taking risks, we would not be able to create an idea. Well done, you shall be named creative alchemist. The shining idea was set on top of the castle. And from that day on, the light came back to the faces of the people. The reason I share this story with you is to make my idea clear that our world consists of basically just cities and forests. City is safe, but forest is dangerous because city is a known world. It's mapped. It contains infrastructure and transportation route and relatively safe. But on the other hand, forest is unknown and unexpected. But because it's mysterious and unexplored, it can give us some the unique inspiration, opportunities, and experiences. And the reason of the story is that I want to explain about our city means our consciousness, and forest means our unconsciousness. Human history is a history of conscious conquest. The first people, the caveman's brain, would have consisted basically of unconsciousness. For example, vague feelings, desires, living day to day. But over time, the unconscious part of our brain has been taken over by the conscious. I'll give you some examples. For instance, science. Science has been developed by analyzing the mysterious natural phenomenon and putting it under control of human consciousness. And language. Language transformed the unconscious feeling into the conscious. In other words, language conquered our unconsciousness. For example, warm was the unconscious feeling, but now the word warm, used in comparison or conjunction with hot and cold, becomes our consciousness. Cyber world created by human being in the 20th century is 100% conscious because computing has reconstructed everything we know into information, binary or computer codes, ones and zeros. And urbanization destroyed dangerous forests and transformed them into a safe and comfortable environment, cities. In summary, it has been an evolution of human nature to change the natural into the artificial and change the unconscious to the conscious. And this is the same for our communication planning. Advertising is an activity to change unconscious desires, unconscious feelings into conscious ones through words and visuals, copy and art. Many people think advertising is a science. Other people think advertising is an art form. Both can be true. We have to use and accept both ways. So we have to use logic in the city and inspiration in the forest. In other words, we have to think and feel. So if we plan something only in the city, we rely on logic. From the story, the solution to darkness was the lantern. It's okay, it's good, but it may not be the best because it can give us the expected results, which is the formula 1 plus 1 equals just 2 and no more. Because when we rely on logic, we are using proven methods and concepts, the thing that has worked before. So if you cannot find the best solution, best idea in the city, or you need another result, you must go to the forest, the unknown. And by exploring the unconsciousness, you can come up with a great idea by the formula 1 plus 1 can equal 3. That is creative alchemy. The methods used to come up with a brilliant, unexpected idea. And when you find something interesting in the forest, bring it back to the city and see if it's a true solution, it works or not. If not, you have to go back to the forest again. But how can you get around in the dark forest to create an idea without map or without people who gives us direction? So today, let's learn about creative alchemy. Creative alchemy has 5 techniques. Let's have a look. Yes, this is creative alchemy. Thank you very much. And in the forest, we have 5 skills of creative alchemy. So let me introduce the first one, which is combining. When we combine a human and a horse, it creates the idea of Centaurus, the star sign for Taurus. That's the creative alchemy of combination. Wow. So, as we know, new idea is always the combination of the old. So, by mixing various things together, which seems totally different, unexpected chemical reaction can occur and generate something completely new. For example, if you combine a stone and a shaft of wood, it creates an amazing tool for a human being, that is an axe. The useful utility was born. If love, which is truly emotional feeling, is combined with very, very truly objective contract, what can you make? Yeah, you get marriage. Yeah. And then, how about this? Robot and police. What can you make? Thank you very much. Robocop, the new hero, new character, and new blockbuster. This is a little bit difficult. If you add honey on cucumber, it creates an amazing taste. Who knows that? A melon taste. Yes, it's true. You should try it. Yeah, you should try it tonight. It's new feeling and new experience. Melon taste. Yeah. And it is useful. this creative alchemy is very useful for communication planning too. And let me give you one example, great example, by mixing Facebook account and the design, which created a beautiful memoir and autobiography. That is the Museum of Me, done by Projector last year, and this grabbed a lot of gold lions. Please have a look. Okay, and I forgot to, we created the board combination, okay? And the task of the next campaign is to create a wider interest in the comic named Kingdom, which was about ancient war. And the campaign combined comic drawings and the people participation, which created a totally new community feeling. Please have a look. Social Kingdom campaign done by Hakuhodo.
Our idea came to us from the theme of Kingdom. There is nothing 1,000 men cannot do. We gathered Kingdom fans' passion and visualized their love. Redraw Kingdom with 1,000 people. Social Kingdom. The 200-page manuscript of Kingdom was displayed at the site. Over 1,000 blank frames to fill in. Participants select a frame they like and redraw the frame to their liking. As soon as we opened the site, 1,000 fans flooded in with their pens instead of swords. Finally, 1,153 fans came together and completed the big manga art, and Social Kingdom turned into a comic book. It made it into the Guinness World Record as the comic book created by the most people. There is nothing 1,000 men cannot do.
Okay, thank you. And the second creative alchemy I'd like to introduce you is mimic. Mimic sounds weird, but mimic is not to copy. It's to find an analogy and adapt it to an idea. Scientists mimic the part of the bird, for example, the wings, and then he came up with the idea of the airplane. That's natural mimic. So to mimic is to find the fundamentals, the basics, and apply it to another area. So if you see a good case study, do not copy directly, of course, but find the underlying fundamentals. Have you been to a revolving sushi bar? And do you know how they came up with the style in this new sushi style? And that is, when a sushi chef went to a beer factory, he saw many bottles revolving on conveyor belt. It is spectacular and exciting. So at the time, he thought of mimicking this concept in his restaurant. So mimicking is to look for the common ground, the same ground between two different things. In this case study, revolving products look exciting. Dyson vacuum cleaner is a very innovative one, as you know, and which has strong power without using the dust bag. And it mimicked the natural phenomenon of a tornado, a cyclone. And they adapt centrifugal force from that natural phenomenon and adapt to it, the cleaner. If you keep a record of all your daily expenses, you can save money. The same applies to counting calories. That's recording diet. Recording diet method is very popular now in Japan. And I think the Nike Fuel Band uses the same concept. Everything counts. So please have a look at the next campaign, my favorite, Friendship Machine by Ogilvy, Argentina. And guess how they come up with this idea and what kind of fundamental truth they mimicked. Please have a look.
My friend, I will love you till the end. And I will share with you everything I have.
Yes, I think riding on the shoulder of the other person can strengthen friendships and trust. So for example, the people escaping from prison, like in the movie Prison Break, need some help of others, and in turn, create friendships sometimes. So let me share the next case study of Toyota 86. The sports car market in Japan has been shrinking, and the image of the sports car has lost its shine. In this difficult time, Toyota launched a new sports car, 86, to create a new sports car culture. But how? We firstly referred to the wine culture, and we saw an opportunity to adapt the schooling system or the hierarchy structure in the wine culture. So we established 86 Driving Academy, and many students were awarded a completion badge. Then secondly, when we saw a Harley-Davidson community, we saw a very good comradeship, which bound them very tight. So similarly to the Harley-Davidson Cafe or the annual events, we established 86 pit house on the top of the ridge of the mountain, and in which the drivers can get together and share their experiences. And also events in which the participants share their feeling of comradeship and drove in a pack. And then we learned from amusement parks in which there is a photo shooting system to record automatically the most exciting moments, memory. So we decided to adapt this system for our drivers. That's Cornering Ecstasy campaign done by Hakuhodo Kettle and Hakuhodo. Please have a look.
Toyota released a new sports car, Toyota 86, aiming to create a new sports car culture. Picture a cool car on the wall at home or in the garage. But those of you who drive a sports car must have thought this at least once. Why don't you have a photograph of you driving your sports car? Well, because you can't take the picture if you are the one driving. And it's completely out of the question to ask your photographically challenged girlfriend to take the picture. We developed a service to shoot photographs, stylishly driving their own car. Cornering Ecstasy. The sensor-controlled shooting system. We set up 86 cameras. The shutters were released automatically when they sensed the passage of the vehicles. It's a heroic moment of perfectly handling the beloved car while resisting gravity. This video shooting system with a bullet time effect allows us to experience the blink of an eye cornering ecstasy. All the Toyota 86 owners who drove through the curve received the photos and the distinctive movie. This was featured in a variety of media. Despite paid service, there was a long line of Toyota 86s. Owners themselves spread the cool videos of the Toyota 86. Toyota was ranked as the #1 sports car manufacturer in Japan for the first time.
Okay, that is a mimic, to find the fundamental truth within the natural social phenomenon. Okay, so let's move on to the third one, upside down. Sun-centric theory was born by turning upside down the conventional at the time Earth-centric theory. When I was a child, my teacher told me that don't drink water while playing sports. But now it's opposite. We have to drink water while playing sports. So question the standard. Standard can be changed. Actually, I believed so many things when I was young, which I was being taught by parents, teachers, or society. But when I was adult and when I was 20, I traveled all around the world for 1 year, and I saw many new things. For example, in New York, I can cross the street against red light. Or in India, I can eat everything by hand. Or in Italy, I can say ciao to every girl passing by. So at the time, I started questioning the standard. And this upside-down concept, alchemy, can give us new way of doing or looking at things. For example, the virus. Virus can make us sick. But by turning upside down this concept, a vaccine was created in which the virus were injected purposely to make us better. In the past, underwear was always concealed, but not luckily. But recent fashion trends has reversed it. Sorry, and the movie Planet of the Apes uses this upside-down alchemy in mind. And there is a very great example using this upside-down alchemy from punishment for the speeders to praise the good drivers. That is Volkswagen, the speed camera lottery done by DDB Stockholm. Please have a look.
The challenge was, can you change human behavior for the better through fun? About 6 months later, I got a call from the folks in Stockholm and said, hey, you're a finalist. Can you be in Sweden next week?
Wow.
The speed camera lottery would do two things. One, it would photograph speeders, give them a citation, and that money goes in a pot. But if you're obeying the law, your picture will also get snapped. You'll be entered into a lottery and win some of that money from those speeders.
珍珠的心理太奇妙。
Wow, 22% of the drivers change their behaviors. It's great. And the task of the next campaign is branding of Google Maps. Usually, when we think of computer technology, we always want the latest or the greatest. But this campaign turned upside down that technology. They used obsolete 8-bit technology in this modern environment. That is Google Maps 8-bit campaign done by 6inc and Hakuhodo. Please have a look.
Mission. Google Maps is a daily utility. More than that, it also provides the pure joy of maps, the exploration of the world. Our mission is to enhance this experience for branding. Solution. To achieve this mission, a digital experience which reconstructs the essential experience of Google Maps into the field of classic role-playing games was created, the very first quest carried out. Global branded quest. Google Maps 8-bit. Click the additional quest button on the top right-hand side. Google's cloud technology transforms in real time the world map into an adventurous 8-bit map. Even landmarks, Buckingham Palace, Tower of the Arabs, the Great Wall of China, the Statue of Liberty, Eiffel Tower. Sometimes users were surprised by sudden encounters with monsters and UFOs. We provided users with a new opportunity to quest the whole world like when they were curious children. As a promotion, on April Fool's Day of 2012, we released a prank video that claimed 8-bit Maps was a trial version for the 1054th NES cartridge. To enhance the brand, the essential experience of the brand itself was reconstructed. Quest your world. Google Maps 8-bit.
Yeah, this is a typical upside down concept campaign. Thank you very much. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 is the truth behind. When you see an apple drops, what do you think? It is matured, it is that season, or maybe feel nothing? But Isaac Newton assumed some hypothesis. Behind the truth that apple drops, there must be some new meaning. And in turn, he discovered gravity. When we see a smoke somewhere, we always assume there is a fire, even if we can see the fire itself. But it can be possible, always possible, to be 100% correct. But this kind of assumption can be a great trigger to create a new idea. For instance, when we see a flock of seagulls, it implies there is a school of fish below. And similar to coast outlines, that can be joined together like a jigsaw puzzle, the one continent. Or if your daughter suddenly spend more time in front of a mirror, we assume she's in love. Similarly, if your wife or girlfriend suddenly spend more time in front of a mirror, you have to be careful. And there is great example using this discovery of truth behind the truth behind the fact. This is a Grand Prix for the good last year, done by Droga 5. Please have a look and guess what kind of truth
how many
they
lives could be
discovered.
saved if registering as a marrow donor wasn't so hard. What if we could turn a normal, everyday act into a chance to save a life? Introducing Help. I Want to Save a Life. A package of over-the-counter bandages that also doubles as a simple marrow donor registry kit. So the next time you cut yourself shaving or shuffling papers or making dinner and you reach for a box of bandages, you'll have a chance to save someone's life. You just put a couple of drops of blood on the swabs, toss it in the prepaid envelope, drop it in the mail, and that's it. You're a potential lifesaver.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great campaign. And using bandage for cuts is in daily life. And the truth behind the fact they discovered is this is a great donor opportunity. So move on to the next campaign. What role did Google play after the severe earthquake and tsunami in Japan 3 years ago? After the quake, we went to the site and houses were destroyed, but also irreplaceable, precious film and photos. So the truth behind the fact we discovered is that these people, these victims, need and want to recover these memories, because in difficult time, the memories can give us hope, joy, and inspiration. Please have a look at the Memories for the Future campaign done by Hakuhodo Kettle and Hakuhodo.
How can Google help the Japanese earthquake victims? Recovery of memories. The tsunami had taken away their houses, but they also lost things which were difficult to replace. Photos and videos which were saved in albums and hard disks. The memories of the victims have been lost. If they lose their past, it's difficult to move into the future, and we hope for the recovery of these memories and created a project to bring back photos and videos that they had lost. We first created a website where the victims can submit a memory they want to recover. Moreover, we set post boxes at 45 locations within the disaster site and uploaded handwritten posts onto the web. We then collected all the request messages and spread them all over Japan through newspaper ads, banner ads, and TV commercials.
Thank you very much. So let's move on to the last creative alchemy. Oh, I'll introduce today. What if UFO took me? If you put yourself in an impossible situation, and it will give you new views or new perspectives or new feelings. That is what if creative alchemy. Imagination is always the key for creativity. Anything you can imagine, you can make real. So, guess, what if I am a dog? The answer would be, I would say, I want to go in and out without my owner, and that's dog's insight. And this dog's insight created this dog's door. And I'm sure people in Nazca in ancient Peru had this question, what if I were an alien? And the answer would be, it would be nice to know if there is life on this planet. And in order to decode the secret of this mysterious planet, or something like that. And many movies were created by this what if alchemy. What if I have a time machine? Oh, sorry. What if dinosaurs were revived, Jurassic Park? And what if toys came to life? And also, many awarded campaigns were created by this what if alchemy. What if I was a ball? And what if I was the bearskin rug? This is the Grand Prix for Film Craft line last year, Canal Plus. And imagine, what if I was named Michael Jordan? This is my favorite TV spot created by Wyden and Kennedy. Please have a look.
Checking in.
Your name, please.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Michael Jordan, 8 o'clock?
Oh.
That's me.
Oh. Oh. Man.
How you doing?
Really? Let's go.
This is really, really interesting. Okay, and what role did the big developer play in making Tokyo a global metropolis? The last campaign I introduced you today allows us to become a composer of Tokyo City. That is Tokyo City Symphony campaign done by Six Inc. and Hakuhodo. Please have a look.
Mori Building is an urban developer which holds the mission, create Tokyo into a global metropolis. We created an interactive city using 3D projection mapping on a miniature model of the city of Tokyo made at a scale of 1 to 1,000. This is the Tokyo City Symphony. Our idea was to offer users a first-hand experience of the vibrance, diversity, and the infinite possibilities of Tokyo. Offer users the feel of creating the most sentient city of the world with their own hands. By pressing the keys on the keyboard as if to play the piano, users can enjoy various motifs of the city, such as the future, rock, and traditional Tokyo, known as Edo. Tokyo City Symphony is created by putting together the numerous symphony scores submitted by the users. The world was symphonized to the ever-evolving city of Tokyo.
Thank you very much. So let me conclude my presentation. Thank you very much. Our world is changing and our industry is changing. And that means the winning formula, which we used to know, does not work anymore. No more winning formula. That is why the problems and tasks we face look so difficult, much more difficult than before. And when the problems look difficult, we tend to be nervous and anxious, so easily to be stick in conventional and conservative thinking in the city. But with only logical thinking, we often cannot find the best solution idea. That is why, with a bit of courage, if you can't find the best solution in the city, you must take the step into the unknown, the forest, the unconscious. And using creative alchemy, you can come up with unexpected, brilliant idea. And the 5 points I explained today covers all creative jumps, the many ways to come up with the idea. Of course, everyone has their own creative jumps, but in summary, these 5 covers all areas of creative jumps. So combine with something very different and create an unexpected chemical reaction. Or mimic and find the fundamental truth within natural or social phenomenon and adapt to the other area. Or turn upside down, question the standard, and turn the conventional upside down. And if you cannot find the idea, try to discover the truth behind the fact. And if you fail, if you all else fails, put yourself in an impossible situation and guess, what if? So everybody can create a truly innovative and unique original idea. We are in the middle of the dramatical change. The new media, it's the new media, new technology, and big data. That's pushing the change. And it's the idea. Nothing but the idea. That's going to lead us to the new frontier. And finally, I strongly believe that no matter how difficult the situation may be, there is always a solution. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Kentaro Kimura there from Hakuhodo. Isn't he great? He has a fan club developing right away. We're going to take a short break now. Meet us back here in about 15 minutes, 4 o'clock sharp, when we'll be hearing from Beyond. See you shortly.